Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Monday One Shots. We began this all the way back in November, and we're working our way through December. And we've been showcasing some RPGs that we have not played before on our channel. This week is the finale of our one and only double feature, which is utilizing the Fate game system created by the fine folks over at Evil Hat Productions. We are continuing our dive into the cartoon universe with its finale, Requiem of the cartoon universe. So we'll give you guys a recap from last week in a minute here, but I want you guys to join us tonight as our band of eclectic characters from 3 different decades of prominent cartoons continue to face off against forces untold. We have a great cast returning tonight. I want to give you guys a chance to talk a little bit about themselves and let us know who they're playing and where we can see them again. So, Aaron, I'll start with you.
All right. I am Aaron. I am a part of the Untold Stories project. You can find me playing Kennedy in our Born of Rage stream, which will be coming back in the new year. I'm also the host for our Pathfinder podcast, Something Something Dragons. And tonight I will be playing everyone's favorite miscreant and Tony Stark without a conscience, David Xanatos from Gargoyles.
All right. Calvin.
Hi, I'm Calvin. You can find me online on the Win with Dice YouTube channel and Twitter account, which I'm constantly on. And I might be here a couple more times, which is exciting. And I am tonight playing Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot, also known as XJ9.
Blue.
Hi. I'm Blue. You can probably find me on the Something Something Dragons podcast. Why did I say probably?
I hate to tell you, but I'm replacing you. Sorry.
Ah, crap. And tonight I'll be playing Kim Possible.
And last but not least, Will.
Hey everybody, I am Will. You can only find me here when I'm doing one-shots and other fun things. So see me when I'm here. I am playing Dexter from Dexter's Lab.
All right. Thank you, guys. So, as a recap from last week, we started with our intrepid group of characters waking up from a very bad dream to find out that it was actually a living nightmare that they were in. Their worlds had been completely consumed by some dark red-black ichor, and they had been rescued by Matrix and Andrea from the cartoon show Reboot. They were taken aboard a shuttle where they watched a world consumed, and Andrea and Matrix took them back to the Absolution, where they met Tom and Sarah, the caretakers for the cartoon universe. Tom asked them for their assistance, which they readily agreed to, and they headed off. They went to the world populated by the characters from Samurai Jack, where they ran afoul of some the early 2010 Krang droids from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They also ran across Skeletor and Cobra Commander as they conversed with Aku. Dexter nimbly made off with Jack's sword, much to the delight of everybody. And from there, they made their way to a mashup of the 1980s My Little Pony cartoon and the more recent version of the My Little Ponies cartoon, which is where they find themselves now, having just learned from Moltar, of all people, that there is an intruder encroaching on the universe. And he was telling information to Tom specifically to search out some keys to find the wellspring. So as that video is sort of ending with the Space Ghost Studios starting to tremble, the camera shaking behind the Moltar, you all do see a brief glimpse. Oh, I don't have it as a handout. Oh, crap. Let me fix that real quick. Edit. I am so sorry, guys.
Yeah, it happens.
That's cool.
All right. You guys do see a creature kind of come into shape as the camera falls over and Moltar backs away. That looks something like that.
Well, that's not appealing.
What's the name?
I've seen worse.
And with
I've
that,
seen better.
it is
Yeah.
very true.
Also,
With that, you guys, a printout of a set of instructions, set of coordinates comes out for you guys from this weird combination printer laser disc player.
You never know when that'll come in handy.
It's true.
It's a plot convenience device.
It's a plot convenience device. Damona kind of looks at you, Xanatos, and looks back at where the hologram was and says, "That's the thing that did this to me." And she shows off her arm again.
Did it say anything? Did it speak in any way, or was it being controlled by someone?
No, it was fully sentient in and of itself, it seemed like. It's looking to remake the universe completely in what it sees as the correct form.
Well, that won't do. I happen to like our universe the way it is.
Both Celestia and Luna will kind of look at you and look at the group of you and say, this is all the information that we have. We will do our best to combat the darkness here on our world, but you should go search out these keys and find whatever this wellspring is that Moltar spoke of.
I'm pretty sure that's the plan. Thank you, Your Majesties.
Sorry.
You're welcome.
I'm just gonna
Bill.
turn to Applejack and I'm gonna pet her snout and I'm gonna ask her if she wants to come along with us. But all that anyone can hear is me say "omelette du fromage."
That's so good. Yeah, Applejack seemingly can understand exactly what you're saying. It says, no, I have to stay here and put things right. So you go on and save the universe.
See that little tear.
Aw.
Aw.
So you guys are able to get back to your shuttle with no problem.
I was just starting to like this place.
Why?
I mean, after a while, you get used to it.
No.
Maybe a longer while for some than others.
All right.
I mean, it's not that bad.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I agree with him.
I don't.
Of course not. You're a teenage girl.
Ouch.
Am I wrong? Are you not a teenage girl?
Maybe that's why it works for me.
Yep. All right, so you guys are able to take off, and you can plug in the coordinates, the full set of 4 coordinates into your shuttle's data banks. And what that's going to do is it's going to pop up 4 different monitors for you guys. It also pops up the world, the universe map that you guys saw that was reflected in back at the Absolution. And from from plugging in those coordinates, you can see that this is on the complete opposite side of the universe from where you guys are. Not in the path of the darkness, like way outside of it. Not, like a spiral arm that nobody's been to in years almost, it seems like. But each of the 4 monitors plays you a set of grainy, staticky videos with or nothing other than audio being played. So the first one is nothing but satellite static, and you are hearing a very discordant set of musical instruments being played against a very ordered set of musical instruments, almost as though they are competing and vying for dominance. On the next monitor, you see a castle on a mountainside, kind of like held up precariously by a very thin spire of rock. And there is a single light on in the tower of that castle. The third monitor shows you a waving green flag with the noise of either IndyCar or NASCAR style racing going on. And the last one shows you a spooky house with few lights on as vehicles pull up to it. Based on the information that Moltar was attempting to give Tom, keys exist in these 4 locations, and you need at least 2 of them to reach the wellspring. So, where would you guys like to start?
Well, the first thing I want to do is actually transmit this back to Tom so that the information can be shared. So should we fail, not that I plan on it, but should we fail, someone else is able to try to restore the universe to balance. Because while the universe would be better off with us in it, even if I die, I would like the universe to be restored so that Fox and the children are back.
So personally, the instruments have caught my interest.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This is just me speaking. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
No.
Yeah, I'm really curious about what all of these are.
Yeah,
I mean, I have a certain kinship to spooky old castles that are up on high spires.
But Xanatos, yes, you'd be able to get the information back to Tom, no problem. Okay. He's kind of like, wait, you talked to Moltar?
Well, no, we got a message from Moltar.
Oh, that's disconcerting, but okay. I will, I'll plug these coordinates in. We'll get this stuff into the absolution, and we'll see if we can't make it out here, or at least send Bob, Matrix, and Andrea out to check out wherever you guys aren't going to go. Good. Just in case.
It's always better to have backup plans. So you want to go to the world with the discordant music?
Yeah.
Dexter, XJ9, preferences?
And she's just like, I guess, thinking about it. I am curious as to why there's no video for that one. Could mean something important. It's the one that kind of stands out.
Fair.
This is perfect. We'll all go 4 different places. You go to the creepy castle.
No.
Party.
No.
That sounds dumb.
Ooh.
Might be a bad idea.
I'll just go back
I'm
to
already not thrilled about the fact that we're putting the fate of the universe into the hands of 3 younger individuals. We're not splitting up further.
You do only have 1 shuttle.
That too. Well, we don't have to decide where to go next. I suppose we can always go to the discordant music and then figure out where to go from. Oh no, except that we want Tom and to send Bob and Matrix. And all right, yeah, we should pick both.
Do we know where the wellspring is? Are any of them closer to the wellspring?
No, you don't have any information about like the location of the wellspring. The keys are supposed to get you there. You could give me you could give me a knowledge roll or an investigate roll. Anybody could, to kind of glean any extra info.
I'll try knowledge. Why not?
I'll try and investigate.
I don't know if I'm great at either of those things.
Me neither, but I got a complete 0. Hey, sorry.
Yep. So we got 2
Yay.
4s and 2 0s from that.
Sweet.
So
Oh.
Dexter, you and Xanatos both believe that the keys are probably half of a set of coordinates each to where the wellspring would actually be. And this is a way that it's protected in that you can't go to one location and get access to this place. You have to go to multiple locations to get
Triangulate based off of the multiple coordinates type thing.
Mhm. Yep. So you're figuring
Makes sense.
there's a lot of information inside these keys that will point you in the right direction.
That's how I do it. Well, is there one that is closer to the discordant music than the others?
They all seem to be about equidistant from each other. Not that it matters all that much with, rules of travel in this game.
We travel at the speed of plot.
Yes.
Totally not calling something.
Well, then let's do the discordant music in the castle.
Okay.
Be good, yeah. I mean, it is a spooky house and a spooky castle. I feel like the car sounds thing would be less dangerous than either of those two, but I don't know. I don't mind a spooky castle.
You seem sturdy.
She just like taps her stomach and you hear this loud clang.
And hollow.
Yeah. Weirdly hollow.
All right. So you guys are going to go ahead and head off to the discordant noise first.
Yay.
All right. So you guys take off at the speed of plot. Yes. It leads you to a very, very retro-looking world, almost as though it was probably penned or at least created beginning in the 30s and making its way up through the 60s and the 70s or so. And it takes you down into a rather desert-like atmosphere. As you get down there, you can see a strange landscape stretching before you. Watches that melt over tree branches, rivers flowing into the sky, miniature waterfalls showcasing height differentials, and a multicolored tunnel with a blocked off entrance and exit.
Did we just go into Discord?
Kim, what did you lead us to, Kim?
I don't know.
I would need you guys to please give me a notice roll. I believe I've moved everybody to the next page.
Yep. Wacky.
I can notice things, thankfully.
You can notice things.
I cannot.
Only well.
Notice.
Dear God. Dear God.
God.
Perfect. Right.
That's superb. 5.
Yes, you did. All right. So both Xanatos and Kim notice that there is a distinct lack of any kind of animal life on this world, at least from what you can see.
Oh, I was assuming you were just about to say lack of chick, but all right.
No, I mean there is you can't tell there's you can't tell that there's a distinct lack of logic on this world yet.
You just said waterfalls flowing into the sky.
I mean, the rules of physics don't always have to apply. That doesn't mean logic is what's missing.
And I
Yeah, a lot of this
myself
stuff does not
thinking-
compute right now.
I'm
You
very
guys-
amused by these aspects.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like I said, I find myself missing Ponyland.
All right. So, do you guys head out of the shuttle itself?
Yes.
I assume.
Very carefully.
Very, very carefully
Yes.
into the Sandy.
I will be one step behind the indestructible robot.
Yeah, I Jenny's gonna like just step out first because she can probably deal with whatever's going on here. I mean, if it's a physical threat, sure.
So you got both Kim and Xanatos. Can you keep your roles from before? You can tell as you kind of get off the ship. You can hear this foghorn type sound, kind of, and it stops, and then it starts again. And every time it goes off, there's two little rivulets of water that come running towards you guys, and then just kind of dissipate into the sand.
This place.
Sorry,
I have broken Blue.
no, it's not you. It's the reaction.
All right. Well,
I'm sorry.
both Jenny and Dexter can notice the rivulets coming towards the group. Just Xanatos and Kim hear the foghorn before that happens.
So I guess seeing this incoming, Jenny is probably gonna expect something pretty dangerous in this obviously wacky place. So like one of her arms is gonna transform to some sort of laser weapon. It's gonna start humming. She'll have it at the ready.
Okay. It's just water, it appears like, and then it disappears at your feet.
Yeah, but everything's being weird here.
Everything's.
That's fair.
She was completely okay with ponies, and now.
Yeah, but it's just ponies that talk. She's seen aliens. This is just weird. Her robot brain is not liking the reverse waterfalls.
All right. What are you guys doing?
I guess that would. A reverse waterfall that works.
I suppose we're walking.
It sounds about
I
right.
mean- Yeah.
Yeah, do we have any way to track this thing?
I mean, it keeps coming from the same direction. The water, the little rivers come running towards you guys and then dissipate. So it's kind of relatively easy to follow.
Maybe we can ask whoever's blowing the foghorn.
Let's follow the river and river. These droplets of water. Like go where they're coming from.
Yep. All right. As you guys kind of follow the water and hear this foghorn get louder and louder as you get there, you end up seeing what you think is a blue bird with an umbrella on his head. Kind of sitting there crying. And every time he cries, there's this foghorn sound. And the rivers of tears begin to run back the way you guys came.
He looks very upset.
He seems very upset.
Oh no, my little friend, do not be upset. And I will run over and I will say hello.
Oh, he's just a little guy.
Cover the little guy.
Yeah, we're gonna follow.
Oh, that thing doesn't look too threatening.
No, but in case.
he continues to cry inconsolably. Would somebody mind making an empathy roll to see if they can calm him down?
Oh,
So
well,
who's
I'm so
good at that?
Yeah, that's
all right.
That sounds about right from Dexter.
But he's trying real hard.
He's
so.
trying real hard.
I mean, I can try.
I can try one.
Go for it.
If I can get in figure out what I'm missing.
Ooh.
Hey, go Jenny.
Yeah.
Jenny, that is enough to calm the little blue-green bird down. He stops. He pulls out one gigantic handkerchief and gives another big blow of his foghorn, and then stows it, and kind of looks up at you and says, "Oh, you're new. Welcome to Wacky Land. My name's Gogo Dodo."
Oh, hi there. My name's Jenny. And she's gonna start to wave and then look at her hand and then put away the laser weapon and transform her hand into a normal one and then continue to wave.
And hands will come out of his feathers and grab yours and shake it.
Oh, got a good grip for just a small guy.
Indeed, I do. So you're not from Wacky Land. You're not any of my friends. All my friends left. All my friends left, and I can't bring them back.
Well, where did they go?
Oh, well, they went to the city that way, and a sign pops up out of his thing with an arrow pointing in that direction, in a off in the distance direction type of thing. He goes, a very beautiful and regal woman appeared in Acme Acres some time ago. She basically gained a following there. We don't exactly know where she came from. She just showed up one day. But she came through the portal that separates Acme Acres from Wacky Land with the rest of the Acme Acres folks in tow. And she took them out into the desert, and they began building this city and this trapezoidal structure with a point on top.
Like a pyramid kind of thing?
Yes, a pyramid. I was going to say a caltrop, but you know.
Oh, I mean, I guess that could work too.
Or a D4.
Or D4.
I mean, I'm gonna count that as caltrop.
Yes.
Well, we're also on the track of something really important, but maybe if we have time, we can help you out too.
What are you looking for?
We're looking for a key.
Ooh, a key. Oh, my friend the Sphinx has a great key ring, but she's back there with everybody else, and they kicked me out.
I can't imagine why they would do that.
Oh, I can't imagine either. I'm such a lovable fellow. And he kind of like sidles up to you, and then everybody else sees that he puts a "kick me" sign on the back of Jenny.
Well, it's starting to sound like the key we need is all the way over there.
Well, if you want to go back there, we can do that. I want to save my friends because that woman, she's got them. They all seem like they're enamored. It's a big word, enamored. They all seem like they're enamored with her. Like they wouldn't even look at me when I tried to get their attention.
It sounds like anything that we might be looking for would be there. So, by all means, little guy, lead on.
All right.
I'm gonna quietly take the kick me sign off, Jenny.
Kim,
I
as
would
you
ignore it and see how long it took her to notice.
Kim,
gee, I'm nicer.
as you're doing that, Kim, you see that he kind of sidles up behind Dexter, and he puts a picture of a screw and a baseball on his back.
He's a little prankster, this guy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Gonna take that one off too.
So he leads you through this empty, vast comic land, through melting watch puddles and oases of palm trees with giant dinosaur skulls in them, just like in the background there. And in the background, you can see this very orderly, laid out sandstone style structures, and a pyramid that is in the final bits of construction. There's some framework around it where people seem to be like, excuse me one second. And that I'm not going to sneeze.
I know how you feel.
You can see that there would, it looks like people would be up there maybe putting some blocks in place to finalize it or mortaring things up as they go along. But the other thing that you do note is that there are sets of guards that are kind of wandering the streets, and they appear to be, for Xanatos especially, you recognize the attire as some mixture of ancient Egyptian and ancient Rome. And they are carrying pikes and kind of wandering about through the city, and they look like they've got a pretty decent cordon going on.
Well,
And Go kind of looks at the guards and says, "Yeah, they're the ones that kicked me out. I've tried getting back in, but they always catch me." And as you can see, he points to the blazingly obvious neon sign that says, "If you see this, sound the alarm." And it's two fingers pointing at Gogo's picture.
That just seems mean.
I love how it says, I'm saying love sarcastically, but it says, if you see this, not if you see him or if you see them, just know, if you see this.
Yep. So if we can get into the city without being seen, or at least me being seen, that'd be great.
I'm really good at sneaking past guards.
or
Or
I'm scared.
never mind.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Her.
Okay, so we could try to just creep our way past them, or I can try to distract them.
I think a distraction is probably going to be necessary. I don't know how good some of us are at being stealthy. Do the guards look vaguely human?
yeah, they do look vaguely human. They actually look really human. But give me a notice roll.
Can all of us?
Yes, all of you certainly can.
Yay.
I just have to go back and see where everybody's at. Zero,
Yeah, Xanatos
3, 1.
Um,
Kim, you do note that they do appear to be very. They're very precise in their movements, and you're not sure if it's because they're military trained or something else. Something doesn't sit with you for how precise they are. I mean, like, you wish you could get the cheer squad to be that precise, but you know that the chaotic energy is part of what makes it that much better. But this is almost too precise, where that there isn't that ability to kind of tap into anything outside of themselves.
Also, quick question.
Mhm.
Are there any patterns once again?
There are patterns, but they are very overlapping, in such that there isn't as easy of an entrance. There could be, but like Xanathos says, it looks like a distraction is necessary, or somebody has to, conceal Gogo in such a way that he will not be noticed.
Well, I was thinking perhaps we could ambush a group of them and wear their armor and sneak in.
That works too. It works with those other robot guys, blending in with them.
I'm just imagining Dexter wearing the armored kilt.
I don't know. I think it's screwball enough that it would work in this world.
Yes, because it would. All right. So if you guys want to ambush a group of guards and take their armor. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it was a suggestion.
I like it. Jenny produced a laser cannon when we first got here, so I'm assuming she's up for a fight.
She is, but also probably I mean, she would be, but I also really want to try to disguise ourselves because that would be fun.
I mean,
Well, this is the best of both worlds because we'll fight them so we can disguise ourselves.
exactly.
That works for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because you guys aren't close enough to them for them to have noticed you yet, I will let you guys all get an action to surprise them.
Okay.
Before anything relating to initiative comes up. So we'll just go left to right. Xanatos, tell me what you want to do, and we'll figure out what the dice are.
Sure. Well, I'm still carting around a Krang rifle.
This is true.
So I think I'll shoot one of them.
Okay.
Which I'm guessing would be the shoot skill.
It certainly would, yes.
All right. Let's see what the dice say. The dice say that I miss.
Right. Would you like to invoke an aspect?
Yes, I would like to spend a fate point to invoke the screwball nature of Wacky Land, so that my missed shot ricochets off of a building, ricochets into a bucket, bounces off of a sign, and then comes back and blasts the guy that I was aiming at originally.
All right, you want to re-roll then?
Well, yeah, because adding 2 is just going to give me a 1, which is still not enough to actually hit, correct?
Probably not, yes.
Then, yeah, I'll try the reroll. Hey, that's better. I've got 2.
All right.
Plus 2.
Yes, that will incapacitate the guard that you were not aiming for.
Fair.
Screwball
energy.
Screwball energy. Dexter, you're up next.
All right. Are there guards underneath the big sign that says to kick Gogo out if we see him?
Yes.
So I'm going to take out my magnetic gun and I'm going to try and pull down the sign on top of the guards.
Okay. It's very cartoony.
Great.
I love it.
All right.
Shoot roll.
Yes, this would be a shoot roll.
Wow, guys, we're doing great.
I rolled not above a 0 today, so that's a -2.
That is a -2.
Uh,
Would you like to invoke an aspect?
No. I think. Is it fair to say that it doesn't work because I'm so light and it's so heavy that I just get flung up?
Yes. Yeah. I love that as a repercussion. for
Yeah,
this.
You just get
So-
flung up on top of the sign.
So you didn't realize how ferrous that was, and apparently it's more magnetic than your thing, and you just go fwang.
Well, there's a distraction.
Yeah.
Kim,
Yeah, all right, that's a distraction, but we're not abandoning him.
No.
Can I get over to the guard I guess Thanatos was originally aiming for
yes, you certainly
and
can.
try to kick him?
Yes, give me a fight roll.
Woo. 4.
You got
Well,
it.
one of us is rolling today.
Which is weird, because I don't normally get the good rolls.
That'll take care of that guard. What does it look like, Kim?
Oh, God. That is brain power.
Handsprings and
Sure.
flips and
I don't know. It's weird here. I'm so not being able to think of a way to knock this dude out. And that's awesome.
Okay, that's fine. Jenny, last but not least.
So we've knocked out a couple of guards.
Yep.
Are there like more within range?
Yeah, there's 2 more. They're under the sign that Dexter is now affixed to as he's trying to pull himself and his magnetic tile off the sign.
Okay. Jenny is going to try to sneak up and then like stretch her arm out, and then it reaches out with like this mechanical whine as her arm extends. She's going to try to tap one guy on the shoulder from behind, and then when he turns around, just like kapow, knock him out.
Nice. All right. Go ahead and give me a fighting roll for that.
Fight is there it is.
Yay.
Yeah.
Fight gets a 3. Oh yeah, that guard falls for it, hook, line, and sinker. He does that thing. He's talking to the other guard. He feels the tap on his shoulder. He looks this way, and the punch comes this way. And his buddy will notice at that point in time that something's going on. So we will, for one bad guy, he will turn, and he will attempt to stab Kim with a spear.
Rude.
I know. I need a defense roll from you, Kim.
Is this a close attack?
It is a
Or not.
close attack.
Yes. All right, so I'm not actually quite sure what that means, but it adds +2 shifts to defend against close attacks. Does that add
Right.
2 to my roll?
Yeah, so basically you're going to roll fight to defend against close attacks, and you're going to add +2 to whatever you get.
Awesome. Well, that is cool. That makes it I got a free, so that +2, that makes it a 5.
You are able to get out of the way of that spear as it jabs in at you. All right. He is going to let Dexter go next.
I wonder
Oh.
what Dexter. Is it fair to say I get free of the?
Yeah, you can either let go of the magnetile and leave your glove behind, which just lets you put on another one.
I would personally
Is it
think if we're
possible to pull it off, like
Yeah, it's not hard to pull it off, no.
then I'll pull it off so that I still have it.
Yep.
And then I will turn around and is the guy between me and Kim?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's below you because you're above him now because you're on the sign.
Yeah, I'm going to aim my glove now at the sword that Kim still has, Jack's sword,
Okay.
and try and have it fling, like, hit him on the way up to me.
so amused.
I'm thoroughly here for this. Yeah, go ahead. You know what? I want you to roll this with create
Okay.
because that feels more appropriate for what you're trying to do.
So that felt very.
That feels very Dexter. So the sword is going to fly from Kim. It's going to The handle of the sword is going to uppercut the guard, knocking him out as as the sword flies back up to you, Dexter. But as it hits his chin, it flips over and now flies point at you again, much like it did the last time, until it gets right in front of your magnetile and then hits it with a twang and is sword point away up into the air from you.
As I did it.
Nice.
Do we see anybody else? Do I have like some kind of movement left that I can do?
You can certainly move. There isn't anybody else out here on the outskirts. There is another. There are a couple of patrols that would be coming in this general direction soon, though, from that you can see from up here. So if you wanted to climb down, or if you want to give me a notice roll from up there,
I'll give a notice roll, I think, to see
okay.
if I can see anything else.
Okay. So you can see a myriad of animal-like people wandering the streets. They're all like going in the general direction of that pyramid itself. The guards are kind of walking with them, but everyone kind of seems to be just kind of droning as they walk that direction. There's no talk. There's no chaos. It's all very ordered, very kind of like the drones in your lab. They're on a mission. They're going in a certain direction to a certain location, and they're all doing it as orderly and as efficiently as possible.
I feel like I saw this once on the Justice Friends, so I'm going to take out the sword and I'm going to stab it into the sign.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use my body weight to have it like take me down, like splitting the picture of Go as I go down. It might go horribly wrong, but
Do you weigh enough to
that's
put
the time to do it. Then I'm gonna try and do it because
I like the idea of Dexter trying to do this. He does it. It works for like 3 or 4 inches, and then it just stops because his body weight isn't enough to go through the rest of it.
That's what I was about to say.
He tries to Prince of Persia this, and it just doesn't work.
Alas, poor Dexter.
Someone wants to help me. I'm stuck now.
You need a hand.
Let him down. All right. While Jenny gets Dexter down, I'm going to start stripping these guys of their armor. Are they robots or are they people?
When you pull the armor off, you do notice that they are robotic in nature. Actually, yes.
Excellent.
That's a little concerning, sir.
Jenny, when you go to get the armor for yourself, you notice this as well. And these robots are very familiar to you. They look like hive construction robots.
Ooh.
Are these like definitely familiar or just like very similar technology?
Definitely familiar.
Yeah.
You recognize these robots?
Yeah, I've definitely smashed these circuit boards once or twice.
Yeah.
Also, while Chinny was helping Dexter, I don't know if her hand would have gotten stuck to the magnetile for a bit.
It does now.
I mean, it could if you wanted it to. It doesn't have to. It's more for comedic effect at this point.
So she's got one hand going over this robot guard and the other like stretched up trying to help Dexter, and then it just gets stuck, but she doesn't notice because she's so wrapped up in these things might be from my world.
Yeah, they definitely have the bearings of cluster
Yep.
technology.
Well, we've seen signs that we weren't the only survivors from our respective worlds.
course, it would be these guys and not any of my friends.
I felt the same way when we saw Demona.
Who's back on the ship pouting.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Demona is sometimes an ally, but I wouldn't call us friends.
I do not understand your guys' relationship.
It's really quite simple. We both worked together to destroy the clan of gargoyles that she was a part of centuries ago. Me for power, her for revenge.
Huh. I mean, I feel like that opens more questions, but
Yeah. You know?
the cluster are definitely not friends, so if we see them, I don't think we'll have as good a relationship as you seem to with your not friend.
I love that.
Still, I might be able to do something with these parts.
You might, yes. All right, so you guys you're able to don your disguises and you'll be able to head into the city, kind of following the drones that Dexter pointed out. And that'll lead you to the front of the pyramid itself. Standing on a scaffold in front of the pyramid is a regal looking woman with black hair and a circlet about her head. And she is addressing the people of the city. She basically is there. You can see that they're lowering a stone into the pyramid. It looks to be the last stone itself. And the woman says, I, Cleopatra, have brought you here to witness the birth of a new generation. This pyramid shall serve as our conduit to the gods, our conduit to the sky, so that we might traverse beyond this mortal realm and into the infinite unknown. All of you shall join me as we take this adventure. Give me a notice roll, guys.
I don't remember this from history class.
There were
4.
a lot less robots back then.
Yeah, right?
4. And so Kim and Dexter, you both notice that Gogo is no longer next to you. It's that little, you look down, there's the black dotted outline of where Gogo would be, kind of right next to you. And then you look back and you see him standing right next to Cleopatra in her whole outfit, wearing a wig in her hair, and he's basically miming what she's doing.
And now we know why he was kicked out.
Now you know why he was kicked out.
On the other hand, that might be useful for a distraction for us to go do what we want to do.
Okay, so is there anything else weird about this?
Other than the fact that everyone's just kind of like glassy-eyed and watching Cleopatra, and as soon as the stone fits into its place, you hear the creak of stone doors open and people begin to like file into the pyramid itself. And when that happens, Gogo transforms his Cleopatra miming, and he looks like Moses, and he slams a staff down next to her, and he goes, Cleopatra, let my people go. And she looks down at him with this look of intense, utter disgust, and just, guards, seize that thing.
I still don't remember this from history class, but all right.
That's because that's not a part of
History.
Well, I don't know what world you're from. It's not a part of art.
Do we see anything that would cause the effect that he called enamored, the glassy eyes?
You don't see anything out here. Dexter, give me a knowledge roll.
Okay. 2.
Okay, Dexter, you're thinking there's a couple of different things, especially because you're dealing with robots, or at least you noticed that the guards were robots. The people could have some sort of circuit injected into them, and there could be some sort of signal emanating from somewhere that's controlling them. That's the most technologically sound idea that you would think. The other basically gets into a whole bunch of frou-frou stuff that Dee Dee likes to talk about, and you just kind of push that off to the side and say, no, that can't be it. That there's no way it's pheromones.
Is there a person near us?
The person that everybody was looking at was Cleopatra.
But is there like a glassy-eyed person near us?
Sure, there's a green duck right next to you with a white shirt on.
Okay.
He's not wearing pants.
Yeah. like most cartoon characters. Maybe while the guards are seizing our little friend there, we can blend in and get inside.
Guards are having a very hard time of getting a hold of Gogo.
That's less guards to deal with.
I think it's a great plan. Let's do that.
The sooner I get out of this cluster tech, the better.
This was actually what I was going to suggest. I didn't think any of you would actually be mercenary enough to sacrifice the little green bird for us to get in. But I'm glad to see I was wrong.
He'll be okay. Look at him.
Just to test the theory, as we walk by this duck, I am going to turn on my glove and see if like something inside of him gets pulled to my glove.
He does not appear to be made out of metal.
But there's nothing like metal in him either.
Mm-mm. Okay. You're thinking that if there was something inside of him, it wouldn't be ferrous, wouldn't be magnetic.
Hey, Andy, is there any
Yes.
chance, do I see anything that looks obviously magical or mystical around her?
You do see an amulet that she's wearing. It does look like it's glowing. You would think that it's either magical, mystical, or some sort of technology, based on the fact that you've seen robots here.
Sure. But I've also, seen magic right next to robots before, so.
This is true.
Interesting.
But you guys are heading into the pyramid itself,
For now.
letting Gogo run amok.
Yep.
Is that where Cleopatra went to, into the pyramid with everybody else?
She does appear, it's like she's up on the thing. She orders her guards to go after Gogo, and then she leaves her pedestal, the raised platform, and heads out. You do not see that she goes in with the rest of the rabble. She appears to maybe find another entrance into this pyramid itself.
So we're clearly going to have to get away from the rest of the rabble and go explore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course,
So yes,
we're also dressed as guards. We're not dressed as rabble. So
you are dressed as guards. Yep.
Should we go after Gogo since she told the guards to, and we're dressed as them?
Are all of the guards going, or is it just some?
Some of the guards are chasing Gogo. The rest of the guards appear to be ushering the people in. So
What's
there's that little dust cloud of guards as they run past with chasing Gogo, and then they run back the other direction. Then they run into each other. There's a whole lot of chaotic energy.
Yay.
A lot of bonks and slide whistle sounds.
Uh-huh.
I cannot explain how tempted I am to want to change it to calming energy.
I can't tell you how much I want to just draw a picture of a hole underneath them and let them all fall into it.
Yeah, for a fate point, there's an Acme box right over there.
All right, let's usher them in with the other guards, and then hopefully we can sneak off and start exploring.
Yay.
The moment we get another path, we can sneak down or something.
Exactly.
Okay, so you guys are able to escort the rest of the Acme Acres and Wacky Landers into the pyramid. The doors will stay open for a little bit longer because the guards are still attempting to round up Gogo. And you guys are in what looks to be like an antechamber. There's a lot of people that have moved off. All of the Wacky Landers and the Acme Acres students and teachers have moved off. They're all kind of like going into little alcoves on the sides in here, and some of them are going off into other rooms. Give me a notice roll, everybody.
Hey, I got a 5.
You did.
3.
5, 2, 4, and 3. Okay. So Kim and Jenny, you do notice that in one of the offshoots where they're taking a blue rabbit, a gray rabbit, and a pink rabbit.
No relation.
No relation. You do see that there appears to be a side door or another. It's like the hallway tees in the middle of it down that hallway. So if you were to head that way, it looks like if you were to look at it straight on, it looks like it just goes straight through. But from where you guys are angled, you can see that there's just a little bit of a turn in there.
All right, let's take this tunnel up here.
Okay.
This pathway up here. Do we need to stealth it, or can we just
No, you guys are blending in pretty well. Nobody's kind of noticed you yet.
Let's keep it that way.
Yes, let's keep it that way. All right. So you guys are heading down that hallway, and it leads actually down into the base, below the base of the pyramid itself. And in this room, there are 6 sarcophagi. These sarcophagi, however, have a whole lot of technology built into them. As you look into them, they actually appear to be molds for like creating things.
Tell me more.
They appear to be, well, one of them is actually full with a thing that looks like this. I have to move back to the token layer. Looks to be some sort of cluster mummy, Jenny?
Yeah, Jenny's fists are clenched when she sees this going on. She's real tempted to explode the heck out of this thing.
It is inert, but you do notice, especially Xanatos and Dexter, you do notice that with all of this technology that's built into this thing, there is definitely a connection from those alcoves that you were seeing to each one of these molds, almost as though they are potentially taking something from up above and transferring it down below here, especially up in the noggin area.
It's a unholy combination of magic and technology.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys mind if I smash all of this real quick?
I mean,
try things first.
I'm not opposed philosophically, but I think it might be worth seeing what we can understand about it before you smash it all. Especially if it's draining things from the people above, it's possible that if you destroy them, you'll hurt the people up there. And you seem like the kind of person who would be bothered by that.
I would be bothered by that. Okay, learning first, then smashing.
All right.
Notice I didn't say it bothers me, but
Did notice, yes.
I will take either notice rolls or investigation rolls. Knowledge rolls as well. Either one
Okay.
of them.
Wow, that was a bad roll.
Ooh.
That was a really bad roll.
Ugh, that was a bad roll for me too. But
I got a 1 on a notice, man.
wow.
Get a Dexter roll on investigate. We did. Okay, so Dexter and
Okay.
XJ9, you guys we're doing the investigation. So what you guys notice is that very much so the molds are set up to create cluster drones, Jenny. They are in these forms of these mummies for whatever reason. You're not entirely certain why. However, you look at it and it's basically like there's nothing to power the robots with all of this stuff. It's like it's basically making husks, and there's nothing that there's no internal there's a power source inside, but doesn't have any juice. Xanatos, with your knowledge, you are definitely thinking that there is an unholy fusion of tech and magic here. You believe that what is happening is that the life essence of the Wacky Landers and the Acme Acres are what's going to become the power source for these cluster drones.
Didn't know that was possible. Interesting.
Uh-oh.
But terrible. Absolutely terrible.
In looking at this, is there any way to create? I'm looking at my aspect specifically, and I have what does this button do?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way to, instead of like to change the husks so that they'll operate without like?
So you want to try to create a power source for them that's not going to be reliant on the Wacky Landers and the Acme Acres people. Sure. All right. If you want to use what does this button do, you can give me a create roll, spending a fate point, and giving yourself a +2 from it.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay.
Well, I guess I should ask, is that what we want to do before I do it?
I mean, Dexter's a boy genius. I would say Dexter would basically just do it.
Yeah.
I mean, Jenny has said that she has some reservations about them in general.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's if Dexter would hesitate from that, I don't know.
That's a total of 6.
It is a total of 6. So Dexter, you can do exactly whatever it is you want to do with that. If you want to basically reroute it so that the souls do not go into these things and basically head right back to their body, or if you want to somehow create their own power source that only lasts for a certain amount of time, and then the energy would travel back to its own host. However you want to do it. What sounds best to Dexter for this one?
I initially just wanted to turn them into robots that would fight for me.
Okay. Then you can do that if that's what you wanted to do. Yep.
That's what I'll do, so that we have a small army with us.
Okay. You have just the one right now. If the whole system becomes active, though, you basically backdoored code. So instead of being loyal to the cluster, they're loyal to you.
I like this kid.
I still don't know if we can trust this thing, but
So
keep an eye on it.
can I look around to see if there's any other ways to get into here and I guess out?
Sure. Go ahead and give me a notice roll.
That's a 4.
That is a 4. Yeah. So towards the back of the room, it was a little dark when you were looking around earlier. But now that your eyes have adjusted, you can see that there is a staircase that leads up. It looks stone up until it gets to a metal catwalk, which then, if you guys all go up there,
I mean, pointing this out, I think we would.
you guys start crossing this catwalk above a whole other set of production facilities, just like the one you guys came out of.
Oh, there's a lot here.
Yeah.
Indeed. And it takes you to what looks to be, because you guys have been in spaceships recently, it looks to be the piloting section of a starship. Cleopatra is in the center of this room. She is fiddling with a set of controls, and in a cage next to her is a tiny female sphinx who looks very sad. Not at all happy like that picture. And Cleopatra goes, I am tired of this. And she rips off her face, Jenny, to reveal.
I knew it. Vexus.
It is Vexus. That's much better. I hate being in the guise of this lowly human.
Okay, I can definitely smash her, right?
Sure, you know her?
Oh yeah, we go way back.
Probably. Wait a minute.
She appears to be keying in, and the image of the intruder pops up on the console, and he looks at her and he goes, Vexus, and she goes, I have one of the keys for you. You are going to abide by our agreement, correct? I am going to reclaim the cluster homeworld and be its queen once more. Yes, Vexus, when all of this is done and I've remade the universe in my image, you will have your little corner to do as you will. Excellent. Ever since XJ9, that girl, she wouldn't conform. She wouldn't submit.
Oh.
Then she ousted me. She ousted me. The people of the cluster worshipped her as their queen.
Is that
It was a whole thing, you guys.
I can assume.
Last time I left Cluster Prime, Vexus's daughter was in charge, but I guess now she wants her seat back.
It feels like this might have been an entire plot.
Oh yeah, if they made a movie out of it, it would be like a special episode. A 1 hour long special.
Only an hour? That's only a double
I'd
episode.
put an hour and a half. That'd make it count as a movie.
Well, differing budgets.
That's true. All right, so the communication cuts off, and Vexus turns and she begins throwing a set of controls, and a countdown timer pops up, and you hear, and the pyramid rumbles as engines begin to fire.
How long is that countdown for?
It's a few minutes at this point. It's not the 30-second countdown.
Hey, Jenny.
Okay. Yeah.
You want to smash her again?
Jenny's like one hand turns into like this big mallet, the other's like the laser cannon, and like other lasers appear out of her back, and then like saw blades, a chainsaw, like a couple of swords. Yeah, I'm feeling it.
I'll just hand Jack's sword back over to Kim.
All right,
I think this would be a good time to go fight her.
I believe we have some combat coming.
Well, I
Yeah.
think we have the confirmation that she has the key.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I like the idea of Jenny Smash.
Uh-huh.
So Calvin,
Yeah.
you get to go first.
Okay.
It's going to get between Jenny and that. So
Yeah.
Go. I did just say to Jenny, you want to go smash it? Might be a good time.
Jenny is gonna like blast off, like tearing the cluster technology off of her body, and she is going to like rocket straight towards Vexus, and just like call out her name.
And she is going to turn, notice you coming at her, and just that bug-eyed look that villains get when they see the hero for the first time kind of crosses her face.
I recognize that look. I've given that look.
Yeah.
It's like, you, how are you alive?
I thought I killed you.
When Goliath would fly towards me, I gave that exact same look.
Jenny, are you happy with that roll, or would you like to invoke an aspect for a +2 or for a reroll?
Can built to save the day apply here?
Oh, very much so, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Cool.
I think almost by definition.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can do better than this roll. It's just a reroll or +2, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay, I can for sure do better than 1 or even 3. So I'm gonna go for a reroll.
Okay.
There we
Yeah.
go.
There
You got a 4. All right. So Vexus has seen you coming, but you still land a decent blow on her chassis. And she hisses up at you and says, XJ9, of course it had to be you. You had to survive as well.
You should have stayed in the trash pile.
Witty retort. I like it. I'll go ahead and keep you at 2.
Yay.
Who goes next? Jenny.
I guess
They're
Kim, because she has the sword.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So quick question. Would
Yes.
using the sword also count as
It would also count as fight, yes.
because it's gonna change it?
Nope, it's not going to change it.
Awesome. Then I'm gonna. I don't know. We're just gonna go off a run because. Gonna run up to her and try to hit her with the sword.
Okay. I mean, you can make a fight roll for that
That does-
instead of making a run. You don't. The run is more going to be for.
One more of as descriptive.
Gotcha. That works for me. Go ahead and give me that fight roll.
Yeah, don't do the cartwheels while holding the sword.
Exactly. So that's a 5.
That is a 5. Wow.
Nice.
All right. She is going to spend one of her fate points to reroll that because, ow. Yeah. That is still going to put a decent slash in her chassis. She doesn't look all that well off. She's not down yet, but she is certainly taking a beating from just 2 of you.
Now you have to fight 2 teenage girls.
Yeah.
Like, where do you keep getting these human children from?
Well, then I'm gonna hand it over to Dexter to add another human children child.
So excited.
How exciting.
How well it worked last time. Is she in between the Sphinx and me?
Yes.
I'm going to use my glove to try and bring the cage to me through her.
All right. Go ahead and give me a shoot roll with this one.
We only use the most smartest things.
I mean, I love it.
That is a 1.
That is a 1. Let me see what I get on a fate roll of my own. Unfortunately, Dexter, the cage is bolted to the floor.
Oh, so I fly at it again.
Yes, you go flying at it again. There's that sudden vibration, and you get the little squiggly lines that show you that magnetic things are happening. And then Dexter just goes swoop, and there's the little puff of smoke from where he used to be.
Can I, with a fate point, as I'm flying, try and kick her?
Certainly may. Yes.
That seems. I mean, my fight is a +0, so it won't.
To be super impressive.
Got a
Oh,
1.
You got a 1. So let's see what she gets. You do manage to kind of Cobra Kai sweep the leg. As you rocket past. So she kind of goes prone.
Nice.
And you're then stuck against the cage, and the Sphinx is like, "Oh," as she looks up at you.
I wasn't expecting visitors.
I wasn't expecting visitors today.
And then can I have my robot go?
Not this turn.
Okay.
Who do you want to have go next?
I guess I will have Xanatos go. I don't want her to go.
You don't want her to go ever.
That's mean.
Unfortunately, Xanatos thinks that you guys have her well in hand.
Oh my god, I swear to God, sir.
So
See, this is why I shoved you to fight Timona alone.
So Xanatos is going to use all of this going on to make his way over to the console of, or the control panel for this ship, and I would like to look at the coordinates that she had programmed in for where she was going to be headed.
Gotcha. All right. Give me a knowledge roll for coding something up to get through all that.
Okay.
Because it's definitely a language that you're not overly familiar with, but programming is programming. It's all ones and zeros at some point.
Exactly. That is a 4 on a knowledge roll.
Yeah, you're able to crack that pretty easily, and you get the location of a. It's basically it's a point in space. It keeps getting updated every now and again, meaning that it's moving, which tells you that it's most likely a vessel of some type.
Okay.
That would appear to where she's headed. It doesn't look like she was heading towards a wellspring. I'm sorry. Doesn't look like she was heading towards the wellspring because it's not a static location.
Okay. And it's not any of the other 3 locations that we have the coordinates for
Correct.
where the other keys could be.
Yes.
Okay. That's probably all I can do in one turn, but
All right. With that, I believe Vexus is going to get a turn.
Yes.
And
Sadly.
sadly. She will attempt to wail on XJ9 because
They'll try.
they are mortal enemies.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me a run roll for defense, Jenny. All right. You are going to take 3 points of damage.
Is that also including my armored?
No, that is not including your armored. So you're going to take 1 point of damage from this attack.
Oh, armored is just 1 less.
Oh, armored is 1 less, then you'll take 2. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Ouch.
It actually hurts.
That's 2 hearts then?
It is the 2 heart. You can either take stress from... You have to take stress from a box that it can be taken from. In this case, you can't take it from the 1. You could take it from the 2, or you could take it from the 3. But if you take 3, you can't take it. You could take it from the 2 and the 1 if you had the 2 available. Does that make sense?
Sorry, no, not especially.
Okay, sorry. The way Fate usually does stress is that the amount that you take, you normally have boxes that can hold a certain amount. So if you take 1 stress, you can put it into any box regardless of what you have left. But if you take 1 stress out of the 1 stress box, the next time you take 1 stress, you have to take it out of the 2 or the 3, even though you could hold more in that. That takes that box completely out.
Okay, so like if I check off a box, then it's like
so
build
you
into-
have your heart box is like heart 1, 2. It's like 1 heart, 2 hearts, 3 hearts. So your heart 1 can hold 1 stress. Heart 2 can hold 2 stress. Heart 3 can hold 3 stress.
Think of them as currency that you can't get change back.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good way to put it. Thank you, Aaron.
So you have to pay a 2 heart, and you could either use your 3 heart to do that, but that would be a terrible idea.
Yeah. So can I just like pay with a 2 heart then?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So how do I mark that? Just check it off.
Just click it, yeah.
Q.
You can just click it.
It'll probably do some weird thing on the character sheet that I don't want it to do, but that's what I get for making a very odd version of this game. All right, Jenny, Vexus is going to let you go next because while she got a good hit in, she knows what's coming.
Sure she does. Jenny is just going to, let's see, I've used mallets and I've used swords. What else does she have? Saw blades. Let's go with those.
You just said saw blades.
Oh yeah, no, I did, didn't I? I don't know. Her powers are very weird. She can transform into like anything. She'll have like these large like thunder fists. She'll slam her fists together as they sort of like get larger in size. More metal plating comes out, and there's like small little Tesla coils on her knuckles that sparks are coming from. And she is gonna swing those fists into Vexus. I need a fight roll.
Yes, you do.
Yep.
Good enough, or you want to make that higher?
I for sure want to make that higher. Can I use Built to Save the Day again, or should I use?
You
can I use chaotic energy?
You can. Yes. You certainly can take chaotic energy
to create some sort of like massive lightning, like larger than her normal taser fist would create, like this massive energy burst to hopefully blast Vexus some distance away or into a wall or something.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Let's go for a re-roll.
Slightly better.
Yeah. Very as slight as it could be.
Yeah, that's true. All right, but she rolls terribly, so you're able to slam her into the wall with that attack.
Sweet. So Jenny's just gonna say, "This is the difference between you and me, Vexus. You have drones, and I have friends, or people I can work with questionable morals."
I resemble that remark.
Friends or people I can work with very well. Semi-well.
With similar goals to meet. That works too.
That works well. Indeed.
Yeah. Temporary allies.
Temporary allies. So Vexus is downed. Xanatos, now that the chaos of combat is over, you guys are able to, I'm assuming, stop the countdown.
Yep. I was about to ask about that. Could I stop that?
Yes.
Yes.
Stop the countdown, but I would really like to try to clone whatever information here so that if it's updating the position for where she was supposed to be heading, I would like to be able to continue to track that.
Okay, give me a knowledge roll.
All
Actually,
right.
give me a create roll.
That works too.
You're making a program.
Yep.
While they're trying to do that, I'm going to try and sneakily take off the necklace.
From.
Okay.
Can I look around the room to see if I could find that key?
Certainly can.
Notice, I guess.
Yep.
Clicked.
That's a 6.
Dang.
That is dang.
It's fantastic.
It is fantastic. So Kim, as you're looking around the room, you're looking for a physical key, and for whatever reason, you keep getting drawn back to that Sphinx.
I don't want to have to talk. Oh no.
Notice that.
I mean, that means I have to
That means that means Blue has to talk.
Ah, God. All right. I'm gonna point this out to Jenny, because Jenny's probably the person I like the most here. Dexter, you are second. Don't worry. uh, um. So, I'm kind of thinking that maybe this key we're looking for probably isn't a key, like a physical key, as I was first thinking.
I think it's something to do with that Sphinx in the cage.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's get her out of there.
Yeah.
So you guys,
And instead, we'll put Vexus in there.
I'm
I'm sure it's very small and cramped.
It is very small and cramped.
Unstick Dexter from the cage.
I'm just imagining Jenny folding Vexus up
Just whoop, whoop, whoop.
into the cage. Vexus goes out of the cage. Comes the Sphinx, and she's like, "Oh, wow! Thank you so much. I'm very glad to be out of there." And as she looks at the lot of you, her eyes suddenly change from black to this scintillating blue very quickly, and the voice that comes out of her mouth next is very melodious, very much not the voice that was coming out just recently. And she takes this Ankh necklace from around the Sphinx's neck, and she holds it up and she says, "You must hurry. You have to find the other key before the intruder does, else my wellspring will be endangered." And she holds out the Ankh, which, as she opens the palm of her hand, it is actually a CD.
I will take that.
Does it seem like she's being possessed by some sort of spirit?
It definitely seemed that way, but as soon as Xanatos took the CD, she goes back to, she kind of blinks her eyes real quick and goes back to thanking you for assisting her and getting her out of the cage.
Your friend Dodo is outside.
Oh, Gogo's here?
Yes.
Oh, good. Hopefully, well, you took care of, she looks back into the cage. You took care of her, so I think everything should go back to normal.
I can go smash the rest of those drones if you want me to.
We can definitely smash them on the way out.
Yes.
Sure. So you guys are going to head out with Sphinx. Sphinx will be reunited with Gogo. The Acme Acres and Wacky Landers have been freed from whatever mind control was affecting them, and you guys are able to head off in your shuttle to your next location, which is the Spooky Castle with the single light on in the tower on a very small spire of rock. And that is where we are going to take a quick break. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us so far this evening. I hope you've been having a great time. We will be back shortly, so go up, get a snack, get a bottle of water, go to the bathroom. We'll be back here shortly.
All right.
All right, we are back. Thank you guys for hanging out with us throughout the break and for tuning in for the entire evening tonight. We have just had our party of cartoon characters dealing with the wackiness of Wacky Land, having been taken over by Cluster Technology. And our intrepid crew is on their way to a spooky castle on top of a spire with a single light on in its belfry tower. So, as the ship enters the atmosphere of this planet, a storm is brewing. A rain pelts the windshield of your vessel as it careens through the clouds when suddenly a bolt of lightning strikes the engines. I need somebody to give me a... Let's see here. I need somebody to give me a fight roll to fight with the controls to get the ship to land. I don't know who the pilot would be, actually.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. I feel like it probably would have been Xanatos piloting. My fight is not.
Can you give me another skill that would work instead? Because I am open to interpretation.
I can assist with that check. I have a once per scene thing that can assist with that.
Possibly create to jury rig controls as some of them are being fried and I'm trying to get other ones to come online?
You certainly can. And Jenny, if you wanted to use your once per scene assist.
Yeah, I can give an ally a +2 by interfacing with electronic equipment.
And you can
That
certainly...
sounds like a...
Yeah. If ever there was a time for this, it's now.
All right. So I will try to create. And
Excuse me.
I got a 2, but with Jenny's +2, that would be 4.
All right. You are able to steady the ship. Excuse me.
Don't
I'm very
die.
sorry. One
Jenny,
second.
catch me back into the engines.
I'm giving her all she's got.
Pull it out of life support. We won't need it.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Coco down the wrong pipe.
Don't die.
So you're able to get control of the ship enough to get it to touch down just outside of this manor.
Well, that's a great start.
Yep, and it is still pouring down rain.
Mm.
I mean, it is buckets upon buckets of water that are just coming down out there, and there's a little bit of a distance to be covered as you guys head to the castle, which I will go ahead and move you guys to the map now.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, indeed.
Oh, no. Oh, Andy.
All right, I'm enjoying our aspects. Enjoying them.
So as we were traveling here, can I give you like an investigate or a knowledge roll on this necklace that I picked up in the last world?
Sure can.
Anything?
Yep, sorry about that. Go ahead.
I use my boy genius aspect.
To re-roll that, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I am going to deal 2 hero points to all players too.
Yay.
For all that fun stuff.
Thank you.
It's
Yay.
3.
Okay, so what you definitely get out of this this amulet was it was like an illusory amulet. It was hiding her form as a robot of the cluster, but it was also the signal for the mind control. It was the emanation point. And just as you did think, it was some sort of subcutaneous chip that had been implanted in the Wacky Landers and the Acme Acres people that was controlling them.
So it won't have influence on anyone outside of that world.
You could maybe jury rig it to do something, but it would be more... It depends on what you would want to do. It wouldn't necessarily be mind control, though.
Okay. I'll think more on it.
See, I'll let you come up with something.
Cool.
So, you guys see this castle. It is raining. There is the light is still on at the top of the tower, but there is a light on just at the door, which is under the porch awning, which looks big enough for maybe the 4 of you to squeeze onto very tightly. I mean, Dexter doesn't have to worry about it because he can basically fit in between your guys' shoes.
Right.
But you have the house.
Okay. Can we just like walk on up there,
Mm-hmm.
knock on the door? Jenny will try not to get short circuited in all this water.
Yes, you will knock on the door, and you will hear a couple of deadbolts slide, and the door will slightly open. The chain catches, and this gentleman, once I get him to the token layer, and he pokes his eyes out. He sees you standing there, wet and sopping and from the rain, and he sighs a heavy British sigh. He closes the door, and you hear the chain slide off, and he opens the door, and he kind of fixes his lapels on his suit, and he says, "Oh, wonderful visitors, and on a night such as this night when my master has told me to allow entry to all who arrive here to witness his glory." And he is just like, he seems like he's reading something that has been stuck in his head for a very long time, and he's just very tense about the whole thing. And he swings the door open, and he goes, "If you must enter, please do so now. I will, Nanny, we need towels for our wet guests." "Ooh, coming, dear." And you see, as you step in and out of the rain, you see a hen with one arm in a sling, carrying a whole bunch of towels. She drops them off to you and says, "Cheerio!" And she makes for the doorway that is on the left side of the room. But instead of walking through the doorway, she walks through the wall, leaving a hen-sized hole as she does so. And the butler just kind of sighs.
Do you miss the ponies now?
No. This makes sense. Could you show us to the master of the house?
I can indeed. You may have to wait a moment. I believe they are just about to, how they say in Hollywood, shoot a scene.
I see.
He leads you to a foyer just a little bit beyond this entryway, and there is a bunch of camera crews set up with like old style Hollywood film cameras, all pointed at this opulent set of double stairs in the middle of the room. There is a director's chair plopped in the middle of the room with a man whose back is to you, sitting in the chair. He pulls up the megahorn, or the bullhorn, the little, and he goes, "All right, Ducky baby, it's showtime, and action." The lights flash on, and they illuminate the top of the stairs. And coming down the stairs, dressed in lingerie, comes a green-skinned duck with a very bad black hairdo. It's kind of sticking out from the black curly wig that he's wearing. Music keys up, and he begins lip syncing or bill syncing to the music that is being played. And it is Dr. Frankenfurter's entrance from Rocky Horror Picture that he is miming as he kind of works his way down the stairs.
You sure you don't miss the ponies? Because I really miss the ponies.
No, actually, I find this all oddly amazing.
I don't understand you.
We have seen a lot of talking animals so far.
You guys
Yeah.
have.
Exactly.
true.
At this point,
That's
at this point, anthropomorphic animals I can accept.
It's not the anthropomorphic animals that's the problem.
You're much too young to see the movie.
That's partially why it's the problem for me.
So anybody that's watching just can tell this duck is a complete and utter amateur. He is hamming up these lines more so than the film would have you believe is possible. However, when he gets to the end and his scene is done, the director yells cut. He says, "Great, that's perfect. That's exactly what we need. Everybody take 10, get something from Kraft. The rest of the crew, let's move to the next room to get ready for the next scene." And the camera crews will get up, they'll move their equipment, they'll roll their cameras out of the room, leaving you with the butler and the duck, because Nanny is no longer here. Excuse me.
Andy, question.
Yes.
The director and the camera crew,
Mm-hmm.
what were they?
They looked human. Would you
Okay.
like to make a notice roll?
I would.
Does anybody else want to make
I
a
mean-
notice roll?
Me?
Sure.
Go for it.
I think instead of
I got a 3.
You did get a 3.
Wow, I rolled that and got a 2.
Jenny gets a 4, and Dexter.
instead of noticing things, can I be tinkering with that? I'm gonna tinker with that necklace and try and get some kind of like hypnosis ability out of it. Do you think I
Okay.
can do that?
Yeah, I think that would work. I think that's a good way to do that. Give me a create roll for that. I will say that you have created a new aspect. It is permanent for this world, so you have a hypno device.
Can I use my stunt, just the thing, and then when I create it to add an aspect, I convert it to a boost that's a true aspect?
Yeah, it would have been just a boost with that roll, but since you have just the thing, it makes it permanent. So you're good. So the duck is going to walk over to the group of you, besides Dexter, because Dexter's off tinkering in the corner. But I have notice rolls, so I should get to those first. So Xanatos and Kim, you notice that they are definitely human shape.
Not me.
They not
Jenny?
not Kim shape.
I got a 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you still notice this.
All right.
Yeah, you still notice this.
Mhm.
They're definitely human shaped. Proportions are sort of like there's an odd amount of extra belly on a good majority of them for how tall and lanky they seem to be for the rest of it. Jenny, you happen to notice that as one of the crew is walking by, that there's a lot of shifting going on in the upper torso, as though things are kind of like moving around inside of it, very small things. And you catch a glimpse of something green and leafy poking out of the collar of one of the camera crew.
But I would have no idea what that means or if it's even weird, but I am gonna just make a note of that and keep an eye on those guys. They're just like leaving the room, right?
Yeah, they seem to be, yeah.
Okay.
They're following the director's orders of going to set up for the next shoot.
And their equipment just seems like normal camera equipment
It
or
does.
filming equipment.
It's so for you, it's definitely like modern camera equipment, although it has a kind of a little bit more retro feel to it than even your technology that you're used to. But yeah, I mean, otherwise it looks like normal camera equipment. There are reels of film on it. It does seem to be, spinning when they were taking shots. But yes, so at that point, the duck kind of wanders over to the group of you and says, "Ooh, guests, awesome! Tell me, how was my performance? Was it spectacular?"
It was unlike anything I have ever seen before.
Ah, a
It's memorable
true,
for sure.
a man who knows a true artiste when he sees one. He reaches out a feathered hand. I am Count Duckula, sir. May I have?
Sure.
And you would be?
David Xanatos.
It is a pleasure to have you at my home this evening. I am, as you can see, we are shooting a movie this evening. The director approached me himself, said I would be perfect for the part of the lead antagonist in this film, and we are shooting all of my scenes tonight, and he's going to then go and splice it in to the rest of the film, and I will be the star. I will be all over the world as the star of this movie. It will be glorious. And the butler is just going to look at him and just roll his eyes and sigh heavily. Tell me, what brings you to my home this evening?
Well, we are travelers and could not help but notice your impressive castle.
It is quite impressive, isn't it? It's been in the family for generations.
I have a place not entirely unlike it. But we actually happen to be looking for something.
You're looking for something.
We are looking for a key.
A key? What kind of key? What kind of door does it open? Does it open a crypt? Does it open a cellar? Does it open a pantry?
We believe it contains information about how to get someplace.
Ooh, a cryptic key. I don't suppose we have anything like that here, do we, Igor? And he looks up at the butler, who again sighs and says, I will go get the master key ring, but I do not believe it houses what these guests are looking for. One moment, master, and he will trundle off.
So how did the director learn your unquantifiable talent?
Oh, well, I have been putting out pitches to different agencies. I've been trying to get my name out there. I've been trying so very hard to make Count Duckula a household name. This was the first director who actually responded to my video that I sent him. So I was, when he just fawned all over the immeasurable talent that I, Count Duckula, have, it was, we had to work together.
Well, we would, if you would permit it, we would love to watch as you continue to film your scenes.
Oh, I believe we are heading upstairs for the next scene. I would be delighted to have you along. I could use any acting tips after you see my performance that you would see fit to give me.
We will be happy to provide feedback.
Excellent. Well, I have to get back to makeup and to wardrobe because, well, the fishnets are wonderful, but I believe the next scene calls for a lab coat. So, and he will wander off as well. When he does, Igor will return carrying a massive key ring with all sorts of keys on it. And
do any of them look?
No, they all look like real physical keys to different doors in this place.
He doesn't seem like he's hiding anything from us.
He doesn't seem like... Well, you can give me an empathy roll to see if there's anything that's being hidden.
I'm so good at that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Empathy is sense motive in this world.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a great liar, seeing his acting. I'm dying over here. I hope you know.
So I'm
was a
before Igor walks back. I'm kind of want to whisper over to the rest of the crew. Clearly, the director is here looking for the key because he's not here for the Duck's talent. We
Nope.
need to keep an eye on him.
You don't think he's talented?
You're kidding, right?
You're joking.
Yes.
That sounds about Jenny. Dexter, you can't tell if you don't think he's holding anything back. You get that very pomp and British
Sure.
attitude from him. Like he's good for order and everything to be in place. He's the steward of the house, and the house is not in order tonight at all.
You remind me of Owen.
I will take that as a compliment, sir.
You should.
Very good, sir. Are you staying at my master's behest?
Oh, I don't see how we could possibly walk away from this now.
Of course not. Very well. Do stay in the castle can be a bit confusing if you wander off, so don't wander off.
Is the film crew using any room as sort of like an equipment setup or anything like that?
I believe one of the side rooms off of the kitchen is where they've got themselves set up.
Maybe we can go check that out. I'm really interested in their equipment. It seems very unique. And I also want to talk to the crew a bit.
Very good. Do as you will. The kitchen is in that direction. I have to see to other things. And he will wander away.
I think this is a game of how long I can keep my cool. Right now.
Oh, Blue, I'm going to have to share Count Duckula with you.
I don't think I want to.
Oh, no, you really
Turn
do.
down,
No, it's not.
please.
Oh, just wait. So,
Oh boy.
yes. So you guys are going to head to the kitchen, to the side room off the kitchen where the film crew has been setting up. It's kind of like a servants area where like they would go to pick up the food to bring out. So you're wandering through the castle, and there are myriads of pictures of the lineage of Count Duckula, like kind of through the ages, as you guys are looking at these the paintings as you pass them by. And one thing that strikes you about most of these paintings are the two canine fangs on every painting you pass by, except Count Duckula.
The current Count Duckula.
The current Count Duckula, yes.
He seems remarkably friendly for a vampire duck.
It does seem, however, yeah. I was gonna note that the date on the plaque is within the last 20-ish years, I want to say, for when he took up residence. But yes, you'll be able to get to the room with the camera equipment, and you can see that all of the cameramen. There's not a whole lot in here. They do seem to be moving things out, but there are some camera equipments that are set up still in here that are just like kind of down for maybe maintenance or something like that. So,
Do we see any of the crew nearby, or is it just their equipment here?
there is a couple of the crew nearby.
Do they have that same like oddly like shifting in their torso, or the green and leafy stuff around their collar?
Give me a notice roll, Jenny.
Okay.
Did you point that out to everybody else too?
Yeah, before we got distracted by the
Okay.
pictures.
Then I will.
Like, so I did see something weird on these guys. There was kind of like some leaves coming out of one guy's collar, and oh, hey, look at those pictures. Why do they all have fangs? Anyway, then she'll describe
Yes.
what she saw.
So then everybody else can make notice rolls as well for this.
Sure, we can try.
Poor Dexter.
I'm not.
Oh,
friends.
He's at a bad angle.
it's a 2 for me.
Free.
3 and 3. Okay, so Kim and XJ9, you both do notice that there's weird lumpy spots within this form of the camera operator as he's kind of hunched over the camera. He straightens up and things kind of fall oddly. Like you notice a couple of round shapes kind of impact the back of the shirt real quick before they settle back into the pants. Like it presses the fabric out and then kind of back down.
Me, IRL, like this is just me. I'm disturbed by this.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what to do with this.
Me,
I imagine Kim would be very disturbed by this anyway.
probably, but like I think I'm probably more disturbed.
I don't know. I think Kim might think it's not entirely dissimilar from like Draken's synth clones.
All right, sure.
But yeah, so you do notice that stuff, Jenny and Kim.
Maybe we should have a conversation with the director.
Maybe.
He doesn't appear to be in this room.
They were heading upstairs to film another
They were.
scene.
Yep, they were.
A scene with the lab coat.
Go upstairs.
So you guys go to make your way upstairs, and I would like another notice roll from everybody. I'm assuming you're all on high alert at this point.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yep.
my god! If I could roll.
Well, not really, apparently.
Yeah, I know, right? Dear God, don't make my
Jeez.
1 the highest roll, guys.
No,
Thank
I got a 2.
Okay.
you.
A 2 is enough because this thing is relatively obvious, even though it's like off in the corner. It's trying to get your attention.
Just 1.
Xanatos, you see that. Kind of like waving from one of the potted plants on your way towards the stairs.
Okay, the talking, the vampire duck I can accept, but that is too weird. Kim, do you see that?
Do I see
Now that you've pointed it out.
what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Missed
It's
ponies
trying to
now.
get our attention. We should talk to it. I nominate you.
I deny.
You deny.
I'll talk to it. I will walk up to it. And say,
Well, I guess I'm following.
omelette du fromage.
Oh God.
Oh boy, Dexter's going all suave on us.
I
Here
will.
we go.
Omelette du fromage.
Omelette du fromage.
Say, Will, you should honestly just roll your creating.
Yeah, since we know
Probably.
that's what it's taking over. All right.
Oh, no.
So the thing kind of jumps out of the plant as you kind of omelette du fromage it, and it jumps into your hands, Dexter. And you can tell right off looking at it, it is a tomato. It is a rather fuzzy tomato, however, with why it has eyes, why it has a mouth, why it seems to have legs, you cannot begin to imagine. But it begins talking in Stitch-like noises because and I don't know that I can do them all this night, but
Are
it's
you
like, yeah,
trying to kill me?
yes, sorry. My name FT.
Oh, you're using Stitch on me. I take offense.
Hope.
Help. You help?
Omelette de fromage.
Which translates into Dexter saying, yes, we will help.
Omelette.
So as to not break Blue any further,
Thank
Oh,
you.
please break her.
No.
FT explains that he is looking for his sister, whose name is Tara. He believes that she is in here. He also believes that she is in danger.
Does FT stand for fuzzy tomato?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it does.
Since that FT wants to come
Oh,
with
man,
us.
what a
or
fool.
stay here?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. FT wants to come with you because he's. You are the only ones that have noticed him, and he believes that you are helpful. Omelette du fromage has enamored him to you.
Oh,
I'm
this is suddenly my favorite game ever.
You know, this is somehow both my favorite and going to be so hard. I'm going to cry from laughing. I'm already this close. Okay, let's go watch another chaotic scene be filmed.
Yes, let's.
So you guys make it up.
Should we hide the plant?
Yeah, Jenny's got a hollow chassis.
Yeah, just watch out for the gears. I don't want to open this up and find salsa in there.
Yes, do not Cuisinart our ally.
Question
No,
mark?
it's tomato. I mean,
It's a tomato, yes. It is a tomato.
Look.
This is the greatest part about this one. All right. So you guys
Look, you guys were happy to take the help from the talking ponies.
at least I can. It's different than talking to a plant.
Why?
Because ponies are at least living creatures that are
So
sentient.
plants.
Sentient?
You've never been to Avalon.
All right, so you guys get up to the upper floor where they are setting up to film a scene. There is a radio tower in the back of the room. There's a swimming pool up here for God knows what reason. There is
Andy.
also, yes, I know. There is also something that completely and utterly confuses the heck out of everybody that sees it. There is a gigantic Frankenstein-sized slab in the middle of the room. There is a sheet over, and above it there is another sheet covering something in the ceiling.
Do I want to know what's up there?
You might. I mean,
Oh, that brings me back.
I do.
Is there a notice scroll I could make to try to get an idea of what might be under it?
sure. Go ahead.
Do you note I have no clue about this movie?
Okay.
Which is why I feel like they might be getting what's happening and I don't.
All right.
Again, you're not old enough.
For
I really only know the name, if I'm being honest.
So you're looking up at the thing that's draped overhead, right?
Mhm.
Kim, it's a giant. There are two things up there. One is a gigantic salt shaker. The other is a gigantic pepper shaker.
Okay, now I'm confused.
It looks looks like there's a giant salt and pepper shaker up there. And I don't know why.
Maybe it's for a movie scene. I hope it's for a movie scene.
Same, but
It's funny you should say that, Jenny, because as you mentioned that it's for a movie scene, the director has now you see the director and you see Duckula having come out with the curly haired wig and the lab coat on. He goes, "Okay, Duckula, baby, here we go. We've got a little bit of a different scene. Lines are still the same, so we still have the same cues and everything, but we want you to stand over by the slab, all right? And we're gonna rip it away. You're gonna see what's underneath it. You're gonna recoil in horror, and then we're gonna do something. And the rest of the scene, it's all you, baby. It's all you." Duckula's like, "I've got this. I was born for this." And he goes over and he stands next to the slab, and the director goes back to his chair and yells, "Action."
can you see the director?
You see him, yeah. You never see his face. It's like he's always at the right angle where you can never see his face.
Has he seen us?
If he has, he doesn't put anything. He doesn't put any weight to you guys being here.
He hasn't acknowledged us.
He hasn't. Yes, he hasn't acknowledged you. So he yells action, and as the scene begins to play out, Duckula begins reciting his lines very cornily, and then he pulls the sheet off of the slab, and you see a relatively beautiful blonde-haired woman laying on the slab in gold bikini. And Duckula recoils in horror from this. Jenny, at this point, FT is on your shoulder, and he's pointing at the slab and keeps repeating, "Sister, sister."
That's your sister?
And he's nodding.
Okay, I can see the resemblance.
You guys are
And
flattering way too.
the cover comes off of the salt and pepper shaker as the pepper shaker comes down from a raised position to a drop position and showers over her with a fine mist of pepper, which she kind of wrinkles her nose at, and then she very cutely, because it's very cute in the show when she sneezes, she ha 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 chew, and as she does, she turns from a human blonde woman into a rather large tomato, at which point Duckula looks down at the tomato. He gets a glazed look in his eyes as he licks his beak and his fangs protrude.
Uh-oh.
No.
And
Stop the duck.
Wait. I'm on it.
Someone stop the duck.
On it.
Oh no.
Is a sentence I don't think I have ever uttered before.
Yeah, on it.
all right. I believe that will begin initiative.
Yeah.
Xanatos?
Oh, no. This is Kim.
Okay. Kim.
So can I try to kick him but knock him unconscious instead of hurting him too much?
I mean, you're not out to kill anybody with any of your stuff that you do,
Fair.
so I'm not worried about it.
Great. I'm not using the sword
I was
because
gonna say,
that
I feel
will...
like the sword is pretty lethal, but
Yeah, I'm not using the sword.
I don't imagine Kim is actually using the sword.
Yeah, so I'm gonna run up and try to, I don't know, like kick his head to knock him unconscious.
dear God, Andy, you actually have a different token for enraged Duckula.
Double-sided tokens are a thing. They're awesome.
They are, but I applaud you.
I'm gonna try to fight this thing. Let's go.
Okay. You gotta fight the duck.
So that's a 4.
That is a 4. Let me see what Duckula's defense is. Okay, so you're gonna be able to knock him back and actually deal a little bit of damage to Duckula, who's still looking very hungrily at the tomato, at the woman turned tomato on the slab. However, his eyes are red and it's flitting back and forth between his meal and you, who is between him and his meal.
Can I tell the tomato to get back?
You certainly could. However, the tomato does appear to be strapped down.
Yeah, all right. Fair.
Who would you like to have go next, Kim?
I'm gonna need help to fight off this crazy duck. I feel. Jenny? Passing it to you. Maybe get the tomato off the thing.
Yeah, I was thinking I could either release the tomato or grab the duck.
Up to you, Jenny. What would you like to do?
I think my robo strength will be more useful in trying to grab this duck.
All right.
So I will attempt to grapple them and try to hold them still while someone else maybe helps the tomato escape.
Okay, you're gonna use your snake-like arms to constrict.
Yep.
Awesome.
Is that a fight?
Yeah.
Cool.
Definitely a fight roll. Do you want to spend a fate point for that to make it better? Reroll?
I don't know if any of my aspects can like apply here. I'm trying to see if any would.
If you can give me a reason why you think they would.
I mean, don't you have a here built to save the day?
Yeah, I know. I just keep using it. But
I
since
mean,
I'm actively saving a hostage from this situation from being eaten by, I'm saving this living tomato from being eaten by a duck. A vampire duck, no less.
Words never said on stream before. At least I don't think.
I don't think all of them together. I will believe that they've been said before on stream.
I can imagine.
It's not in that order.
I can imagine Vampire Duck has maybe shown up somewhere in somebody's homebrew D&D game.
Exactly, and I'll bet someone said like we can't let them eat this tomato. Like, you know, because it's poison. I don't think it's ever been said like that.
It's true. So would you like to re-roll, Jenny, or do you want to just add a +2?
I'll just add the +2. I think a 4 is pretty good.
Yep, 4 is pretty good. And you will definitely be able to constrict Count Duckula as he is attempting to get past Kim to his meal.
I thought you didn't have fangs.
Ah, you thought wrong. I'm going to interrupt initiative as the camera crew and director kind of shed their human guise.
I was waiting for this.
And become an army of tomatoes.
You know,
I am starting to miss the ponies now.
I take it back.
Xanatos takes it back. He misses the ponies now too.
I could deal with the vampire duck, but the tomatoes? Not there yet.
It's almost like it's an attack of the killer tomatoes.
Almost.
What TV show?
Mira, that is literally
tomatoes.
the cartoon. It was
Attack of the Killer
there was a
Tomatoes.
bad sci-fi film in the 70s or early 80s called Attack of the Killer Tomatoes that somehow was turned into a cartoon.
In the 90s.
Congratulations, you've got the crying tears. Got the laughter cry.
Jenny, I am attacking you with an army of tomatoes that seem to bounce against your robo skin and kind of they deform as they hit or become splat and then just kind of reform back.
Quit it. Stop it.
Because they rolled a negative. Even if they were to
Lou,
hit,
when I say you can throw rotten tomatoes, now you understand.
Dexter. Dexter, I think we're going to let you go next.
Yes, I am going to take this necklace and I'm going to try and hypnotize our new duck friend.
All right, I like it. Go ahead, give me you are omelette du fromage. Give me a suave, or give me a create because it's suave. Are you good with a 2, or would you like to spend a fate point?
I'll spend a fate point and turn it into a 4.
Okay, let me see if Duckula's vegetable vampireness. No, I can't roll for beans tonight. So you've hypnotized a vegetable vampire duck. He seems to his eyes are still red, his fangs are still out, but he seems to be enamored by this glowing necklace that you've just shoved in his face.
Send
Or
him
did you-
after the other tomatoes.
Yeah, I think the point on this to have him attack the tomatoes.
All right. He will certainly do so. At which point, then Duckula is chasing after the tomatoes. The tomatoes are like, "Oh wait, no, we didn't sign up for this," and they all go to roll out of the room. They pass Igor by as Igor is coming into the room, and Igor looks at the tomatoes. He looks at Duckula. He looks back at the tomatoes. And he goes, and he gives you that deep, heavy British sigh once again. He goes, all of my plans ruined again. Wait. No, Master's chasing vegetables. This is excellent. No, wait, no. He was supposed to eat the girl, not the vegetables. He was supposed to be a proper vampire.
Hello?
Oh,
See, does it help to know that the director was the tomato?
I knew that. That was
course you did.
the whole thing. When they showed up here looking for the same key you were, I found it amenable to help them if they would help my master with his odd vegetable obsession. All Nanny's fault.
So you do know about the key that we're looking for.
Well, the only other thing that showed up here before the tomatoes was that girl who is now a tomato.
Yeah, how do we untomato her?
Jenny, you're looking up at the ceiling. The the salt shaker is down. The pepper shaker is down. The salt shaker is up.
Try sprinkling salt on her.
Sure. I guess I can carefully. I mean, I'll let go of the guy with one hand and then try to use the other to manipulate the salt and pepper shakers.
Oh well, Duckula's been hypnotized into chasing.
Oh yeah,
the other
true.
tomatoes around,
Okay, so I can just release him for the moment.
Mm-hmm. So you do so, and the salt drops over the girl, the tomato, and again, there's that very cute sneezing sound as she finishes. She transforms back into a human girl.
Gonna
That's
unstrap her?
You
a
certainly can.
very severe allergic reaction.
Kim, when you
Sorry, just got joke.
yes, Kim, when you unstrap her, FT is going to jump off of Jenny's shoulder and into her arms as she kind of sits back up, and she's like, "Oh wow, like what totally just happened?" Because 90s,
Right.
What do you mean? That's what people talk like.
I know, I know.
Just prevented you from being vampirized by a duck.
She kind of gives you this very quizzical look. Like, that sounds like a really bad time, you know?
It does. So
We've
maybe
another redhead.
This game has a lot of redheads, and I didn't notice it until now.
Redhead.
maybe do you, oh, there's no room for subtlety. Do you by any chance know anything about a key?
As you say that, that same scintillating blue that overtook the Sphinx's eyes overtakes Tara's eyes, and she goes, "You have to hurry. I give you the final key. Come soon. He is coming. The intruder is almost here." And then she blinks out of it as she holds a bracelet out to you. The bracelet then, as soon as it touches your hand, turns into a CD, much like the previous one. And as soon as she takes it, the scintillating blue goes away, because I believe her eyes are actually blue. Hard to see on this without blowing the token up really big.
Yeah.
Her eyes are blue.
Perfect. It goes away, and she's like, "Whoa. Hey, FT. Yay, you're here."
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's
This
leave
seems
this
like
place.
a happy enough ending for me.
Yeah.
On second
I
thought,
will
let's not
talk
go to Camelot.
I will talk to. I will look at the girl and the fuzzy tomato and say, "You might want to be gone when the vampire duck gets back."
Like, can we go with you? Are you leaving?
Do you need a lift?
Sure.
Totally.
We succeeded at recruiting another redhead.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, Damona's a redhead too.
Mhm.
It's the merry band of redheads, robots, and then Xanatos.
And then Xanatos, the lover of redheads.
I mean,
No,
it's
not
fair.
redheads.
He marries Fox.
Mhm.
I think he's growing tired of some of us redheads.
Excuse me. All right. So you guys are able to take Tara, FT, back to your ship. You are with the two pieces, with the two CDs now, entering that information into the ship's databanks. Puts the ship on autopilot, actually, as it takes off and generates its own unique wormhole, kind of like an
Wait, wasn't our engine just hit with lightning?
No, plot fix.
Get it?
Yeah, I
It's
guess
like-
that.
It
The
was one of
shuttle's
the.
auto repair sequence was working while we were all running around inside the.
It's one of those. Yes, it did damage, and yes, it shut it down, but it wasn't enough to actually like break it. Type hits.
I was checking if we're gonna have the plot fix or not. Just
Yep. Oh, plot fix is good.
Yeah.
But you guys are jetting off towards the wellspring now. It seems like this. It's almost like an eighth chevron has locked and sends you to a far off location.
wow.
One moment while I switch you to the final map.
No, sir.
All right. So this is a floating oasis, water crystal clear and vibrant, billows down from this thing and kind of feeds into the cosmos itself. Actually, it's not a planet. It's just this temple in space, almost. The ship appears at the to the steps of a grand altar. Around you expands the universe, a multitude of colors and stars swirling off into the distance. As you guys kind of take this into view, a woman appears a little bit deeper into the altar itself. And she's holding a staff in her right hand. Her left hand is outstretched, and she's kind of like beckoning you to join her.
I mean, who are we to say no to the weird
Sorceress.
sorceress lady? Saying no doesn't seem like a good choice.
Definitely not. she nods to all of you as you step towards her, and she says, welcome. I am glad you made it before the intruder did. I am the sorceress, guardian of the source. Please come with me. We must be quick. He will be here shortly. And she's going to lead you down these corridor on which there are a multitude of columns of different beings scratched out onto them. You do, as you're walking through, you recognize yourselves amongst this rabble, along with a picture next to it of somebody drawn of a picture, like someone had taken a Polaroid of the creator of Xanatoso, the gargoyles, and Kim Possible is sitting next to them. So you have like these very cartoon figures on columns, along with a very real world picture right next to them. You also see other characters throughout here, like Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse and Optimus Prime and Garfield. They're all just kind of lining this hallway. She leads you to the center, to where there's this pool of water, this scintillating light, and she basically holds her hand out and she directs you to look into it, and she goes, "This is the source. This is the source of all creative energy within the universe." And as you look into the water, the images that you get back are of families sitting in front of a television on a Saturday morning with the kids eating cereal, and there are various cartoons being played on the television. You see a man and a woman just kind of cuddled up on a couch, looking like they're binging Netflix episodes. As all of this passes by in the water, the sorcerer says, as this font of creation has existed throughout time, people have tapped into its energy to create memorable characters. These memorable characters have touched people in a myriad of ways, but for certain individuals, it touches them with the spark of creativity. And they, in turn, go and create a new entity for this universe. And it takes its place here. The intruder is one of those such entities. He was an idea that someone had that attacked Tom himself. Tom has no knowledge or no recollection of this, actually. But the problem was when he attacked Tom, he gained some of that knowledge that the caretaker has about this universe. It gave him a clarity to know that he was a villain to be put down, to be ever defeated. Never would his story end in a way where he would get to write his own conclusion. And so he rebelled. He took this knowledge and he sought this place for a way to undo all that has been done and write his own story. He is almost here. If he takes this place, he will be able to undo everything that ever was. If you can stop him, we can put back what he has wrought.
You're telling us that we are all someone else's creations?
I am telling you that the spark that has imbued life into this universe came from outside. If you believe that to be somebody else's interference in your life, or if you imagine that to be a sort of cosmic event that dubbed your universe into existence, Xanatos, magic and technology are two ways that you could explain any of this. You are your own being, but the spark of your idea started elsewhere.
This is heavy. I mean, I knew it was created, but this is a lot. So, how do we stop this guy?
You will have to you will have to you will have to defeat him. You will have to be creative. She gives you that little sly she gives Xanatos that sly little look when she says that. At that point, there is a rumble, and the whole temple shakes. You can hear the wet sucking sound of like boots stepping out of mud coming down the hall as the intruder works his way down the corridor and says, at last, what I've searched for. And those, he looks, his mask, this husk of a previous Tom, looks out at the rest of you, the interlopers who stand in my way. I have a way of dealing with you. And he kind of puts his arms down onto the ground, and a ink-like figure taking the form of your most hated foe appears. So I know we already dealt with Vexus, but I believe, Jenny, yours becomes Vexus.
Yep.
Kim, would it be Draco or would it be Shigo?
Let's go, Shigo.
Okay. Dexter?
Ugh, DD.
Oh, you're going with DD instead of Mandark?
Not Mandark.
Indeed.
And Xanatos. I don't think it's Goliath, but I'm trying to figure out who it might be. First, the only thing that comes to mind is Oberon.
Oberon or Thaliog?
Ooh, Thaliog's a good one.
I feel like it would be Thaliog.
All right.
I feel like Xanatos doesn't necessarily consider Oberon an enemy.
True. More of an obstacle at times.
Yeah. You know, a hurricane isn't my enemy. It's something to deal with and work around.
It's like almost like Oberon's a force of nature.
Almost. But Thaliog, I think, is an enemy.
All right. So we will go ahead and get started with the final fight. Woot. Dexter, I'm going to let you go first.
Ugh, seeing so many people and DD
And DD.
to use my stunt, Rise of the Robots.
Yes, it's almost like two of you have literally very close to the same power.
That's not a roll or anything, right?
It is a roll, actually. You don't have to roll to use it, but let me read it real quick. Once per session, Dexter can summon a platoon of his robots to do a +2 attack against all enemies in the scene. So, you can either choose a fight or a shoot attack for your robots, and whatever you roll will be at +2.
Great.
Against everything in the scene, except for the sorceress, because I'm assuming you're not shooting the sorceress.
She seems cool right now, so I'll be.
Or us.
Or yes.
For all of you, yeah.
Yeah, please don't cheat us.
I will use. Can I use a fate point there too to turn it into a 3?
You certainly can. Which aspect do you want to tap?
I will use. What does this button do? And I will just click an extra button on my little watch that will give all of my robots extra missiles.
Extra boosty. All right.
So I will do that.
I will delete the fate point because that's a fun thing to do. All right.
Put that into a 3, which I guess would make it a 5.
Yes. Yes, it will. So, defend against 5, my minions. Wow. Okay. So the intruder takes 1 stress. Everything else takes 2. That was a good use of that power, Dexter. And who would you like to have go next?
I will have. I will have the sorceress go next.
The sorceress cannot fight for you guys in this battle. Sorry.
And I assume that she can't do anything then. I will have Xanath.
She looks like she's guarding the wellspring in case you guys fail.
I didn't know if she had to do something to do that.
Yes. No.
I'll have Xanath.
Okay.
All right. Well, I admire that energy. And so I'm going to reach into my coat and pull out a box with a button on it and push the button and summon my army of scavenged Steel Clan robots. So a group of robotic gargoyles that look like they've been scavenged out of Krang bots and Hive Tech. We'll see how much of that of an army I actually have, but I'll drag the fate out. And it's a create check, and I get the number of drones equal to my roll. So,
yep.
Well, it's a minimum of 1.
It is a minimum of 1.
So I have a gargoyle drone.
I mean, you could use an aspect.
I could use an aspect. I'm going to spend a fate point to use an aspect for billionaire troublemaker, because this feels like, in the words of the late great John Lewis, the good kind of trouble. And I will re-roll.
Okay.
It's still 1 robot. Never mind. That was a wasted fate point. Oh well.
Still a robot. All right.
It's still a robot.
It is still a robot. All right. Now that you've summoned your robot, it can act.
Well then, it will shoot at Thaliog.
Okay.
My drones have a shoot of +2, so I will use my create because my create is a +2.
Perfect. Wow.
But where were you when I was summoning drones? But that is a 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Thaliog takes a massive hit from that. The inky version of Thaliog kind of starts to discorporate a little bit as the drone blasts off some of its inky ichor. It's not down yet, but it's not long for this world, I would imagine.
Good.
Who's next, Xanatos?
Created you, I can uncreate you.
Who would you like to have?
I will pass it over to Jenny.
Jenny.
Well, I guess if everyone's doing it, I'm gonna use my once per session power. And Jenny, so I can only summon 2 of these at a time.
They all show up at once, but only 2 of them can be used per turn. So basically, you get like 4 turns of +2, or
Cool.
a potential +2.
So Jenny is going to, I guess, send out a signal of some sort, and then use that to summon the rest of her sisters, XJs 1 through 8.
Neat.
God. Now that I've actually seen all of these characters in play in the same session, it's like, wow, that's a lot of robots.
Robots unite.
This is what I get for
built
making.
character sheets, man.
No, this is what I get for making 19 characters for this game. Eventually, powers start to duplicate, even if they're all just a little bit different, even in their application. I mean, literally, Dexter's is just a wave of attack. Xanatos gets drones that can attack on their own, and Jenny gets helper bots. So they're all different, but they're all summoning robots.
Yep.
Well, good news. I can't summon robots.
That's true. You can't. Okay, Jenny. So you've got your backup army of sisters.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go straight for Vexus. Gonna take a couple of my sisters. Let's start off with the biggest one. I'll take XJ8, which is this. It looks like a larger version of Jenny with a darker blue. And then XJ2, which looks like a small laser blaster on a wheel with a single eye. And then I'm gonna attack Vexus.
Okay.
I'll get a +2 on hopefully a good fight roll.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that becomes a 6. Let's see. Oh, God, Vexus.
Power family.
The Power family smashes that inky Vexus into the ink blot that you normally have someone pull up in front of you and say, "What do you see here?"
I see a splattered robot.
Yeah, because my gosh, my dice don't like me, which is great for you guys.
Yeah.
But the Vexus ink monster is no longer a part of this scene. Jenny, who goes next?
Kim hasn't gone yet, right?
Kim has not gone yet.
All right, let's throw it to Kim.
Thank you. Well, I don't summon robots. Literally everyone else has. So instead I'm gonna use this tiny sword that got this Guardians thing.
Are you attacking the intruder, or are you attacking...
Crap, I need to remember names now. Oh my god, I'm doing
Chico?
great. Yeah, Chico, I'm going for her.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead and give me that. Yeah, that's true. You don't. Well,
wow, that was awful.
Would you like to use an aspect to reroll? There's a good one on the scene.
There are a lot of good ones on the scene, and I'm trying to figure out how I logic it. No, I think we're just gonna go for one and probably not hit her.
All right, let me see what I roll for defense. You do actually hit. It does it. Oddly enough, as you're using Jack's sword, the blade catches the light from this place just at the right angle, and it seems to do a significant amount of damage to this ink monster, almost as though it is doing what it's supposed to do in fighting the darkness.
Yay! Is she done?
She is still up. But
Got it.
she looks heavily wounded from all of the robot mass, the robot and the slashing that has happened.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Okay, I believe that's going to get me to. I have 3 ink creations left, so we're going to do an attack on Xanatos. We're going to do an attack on Dexter. We're going to do an attack on Kim with their respective bad guys, and then the intruder is going to go after Jenny. So,
Good question.
yes.
I have a ability which is once per session, I can spend a fate point to negate an enemy action.
Mm-hmm.
Can I negate the not imposters,
The intruders.
the intruder's action?
You certainly can.
And if it's And it does say if she chooses to do this before the action occurs, she regains the fate point.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So do
basically. No, you would go because I'm assuming you wanted to use that. Yeah, so that's perfect. So you can negate the intruder from being able to act because Kim takes the impossible and makes it possible.
Nice.
That's impossible.
All of my attacks are negatives.
So we don't even need to roll our defenses?
No, you
Okay.
don't. So let's start the round again at let's start with Jenny.
Okay, so this guy didn't get to attack me, but I'm still facing off with him, right?
That's true, yes.
Okay, and I know that he wants to reset the universe because he realized he's a bad guy who's always going to lose.
Yep. He didn't want to lose anymore.
I attempt some form of persuasion.
You certainly can with a suave roll.
Cool. She's gonna say, you don't have to be the bad guy. You can choose your own destiny. We're all our own people. That's what the lady with the bird hat said. And I don't know, can her sisters like help with this? There are a couple of them that are XJ5 is really chatty.
Mm-hmm.
And XJ1 is adorable. So
you certainly can take the +2. You can certainly use 2 of your sisters to give you a +2 on this roll.
Okay. Hopefully the Power family is influential.
Yeah, I do too.
Suave.
Oh.
It comes a 2.
Can I? Oh well, I'm already applying the other thing to this to get a +2. Can I like apply another aspect to?
You certainly can. Yes.
Try
to make it better.
I can roll better. Can I use past, present, future ? As an aspect?
Certainly
just
can.
to make it clear that the future is uncertain.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, here we go. Ooh, that did not help.
No,
it did not.
I mean, I feel your pain.
Yeah. So the intruder is going to kind of sneer at you and basically say, this, you don't get it. This story that I have written into, it is because it belongs to the caretaker. It is immutable. I am forever tied to this role. I have to break the control that exists between caretaker, source, and guardian to be removed from that story, from that ever infinite spiral of defeat.
I don't know if I can do anything else this turn.
Oh, you can pass it on to somebody else in your team.
Okay. Everyone's still dealing with their villains.
I'm just gonna let my drone let my drone deal with Thaliog, but
I'm trying to finish this quick.
Yeah, Kim has the most powerful weapon here, so I'll throw it to Kim.
Go ahead, Kim.
Right, pick. All right. Gonna attack her.
Stabby.
Slashy.
Slashy.
Hey, that's a lot better. That's free.
That is a 3. That's a good roll.
It was.
And with the sword assisting you, because it is the sword that defeats the darkness, you do manage to banish that inky blot of Shigo.
Yay.
Who goes next, Kim?
Let's give it Xanatos.
Xanatos.
So first, my drone will shoot at the ink blot of Thaliog again.
Okay.
Oh, he will miss.
He will.
But I also don't care about him. He's a drone. So I'm going to turn to the actual threat. And I'm going to kind of chime in with what Jenny had been saying, and simply say, if you're weak enough to believe that someone else controls your fate, you don't deserve anything better than what lies before you.
That sounds like a taunt.
I think it is very much a taunt.
I like
Sounds
it.
like a way to make them not want to kill us, but all right.
Quite a gambit.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I have no ranks in taunt. So I'm going to use an aspect. I know it's actually my flaw, but I feel like the my way or the highway aspect is actually appropriate here.
You know what? We're at the end of the evening. I'm going to let you go ahead and do it. This normally isn't the way fate works.
I understand, but I feel like that's the right way to go for this taunt.
No, you're right. It is. It's kind of that. It's that two-pronged sword there, because you say this and he's definitely gunning for you.
Yeah. So we'll be adding 2 to this. So that makes it a 3.
Okay. Let me see.
Oh, I didn't know you wanted to become the meat shield.
Well, that definitely gets under his skin. Question mark?
Well, I'm more thinking that if he's focused on me, he's not getting closer to the wellspring.
It definitely gets under his skin, and he looks like he wants to smash you into paste.
Fair.
I was going to say ink, but all right.
Xanon says, who's going to go next?
Let's see. I think I'm going to give it to him. Give it to the bad guys.
All right. Give it to the bad guy. Bad guy's going to go. The intruder will attempt to pummel you. I will need a run. He was actually, this would be a close combat, so I believe you can defend with knowledge.
I can.
Because you can basically see his attacks coming.
Yeah. All right. That is a 6 on my defend.
Oh yeah, you've gotten underneath his skin enough that these are kind of the most easily telegraphed moves you've seen for a while.
I am living rent-free in his head.
You certainly are. And then let me roll for my 2 remaining things. Thiago is going to go after your drone.
Sure.
So I will need a I will need a fight defense from your drone. And then Dexter, I need a fight defense against your sister as she's doing cartwheels around you.
My drone gets a 2 fight defense.
Your drone is fine.
Oh no.
Oh no, Dexter! Oh no!
Oh, Dexter, do you want to Dexter, do you want to take that?
No, I do. I want to take that.
All right, Dexter, you're going to take 5 stress.
Okay.
Dexter, so Dee Dee is just laughing or at least to everybody else, this ink thing kind of dancing around Dexter. To Dexter, it's Dee Dee dancing around in his head, pushing all the buttons in his lab and laughing at him as she does so. And I believe, Dexter, you are the last to go then.
So my robots are now gone?
Yes.
Or the whole scene, okay.
They are one and done.
One and done. Sounds good. I am going to run away from Dee Dee, because that's a nightmare. I am going to get... Kim is pretty close to the intruder, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to I'm going to run around the intruder so that we're flanking, and then I'm going to use my glove to try and like impale him with the sword.
Ooh.
I love it.
Please stop taking the sword, sir.
I'll give you the turn next so that you can run up and grab the sword and use it.
All right. Dexter, go ahead and give me. Oh, go ahead and give me a create roll for this, Dexter.
And I will pump my last fate point into it
Ooh.
to give it a 7
Oh my gosh. Okay.
with the sword, whatever that does.
Oh,
That's an epic result.
it is.
Yeah.
It is a difference of 8 because I rolled a -1.
Oh no.
Nice.
I mean, he has defenses, but the end up being is a difference of 5 with the -1 result. So, Dexter, you pull the sword that defeats darkness out of Kim's hand, attempting to impale it into the body of the intruder, and I'm assuming hopefully pull it through, correct?
Oh no, I wanted it to stay in.
Okay,
so
you
can then grab it. And
You did want it to stay in. Okay, perfect. Well, it does so. It pierces the inky black ichor that is the intruder. And as it does so, the sword flares briefly, as though pulling in all of the ambient light in this place. In a brief flash of that light, which blinds all of you for a brief second, the inky shadows that remain are banished. The black ichor that has suffused this body, this robotic form inside of Tom, basically begins to bubble and melt as it discorporates, leaving behind this shell of what looks like Tom, but a younger or earlier model. Dexter and the magnetile he created in episode 1 has saved the day.
Woohoo!
The guy none of us noticed when we first woke up.
So the sorceress looks at all of you. I guess, yeah, she looks at all of you and she says, "Thank you. Had he succeeded, everything would have been lost." She holds her staff out, and she heals any of the wounds that you've taken. Dexter and Jenny, I believe, are the only ones that took actual damage.
Yeah.
So those are healed. And she asks you to look into the source once again. And as you do, you basically see that all of your worlds, all of your homes are restored to the way they were before they were destroyed. With the threat neutralized, the sorceress says, your worlds are returned to as they were before. When a set of 4 portals open at the cardinal directions of this room, each one a vision of your home beyond the portal. Sorcerer says, when you return, you will not remember this. The source will strip this from your minds so that the secret can be preserved in case there is another entity out there that wishes to do harm to the universe. I do thank you for your assistance in ending this threat and wish you the best of luck with the rest of your lives.
Jenny's just gonna look at these people that she's been with in this adventure for so long, this harrowing, dangerous situation, and just say, I guess this is goodbye.
So it would seem.
Yeah.
Well, some of it was fun.
Do you guys step through the portals?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you when you step through the portal, you all awake back at home. And for that brief moment, as you go from restful sleep to just that fleeting moment of consciousness as you wake, there is this feeling of relief and joy that spreads through you, and almost just as though you woke up from a very wonderful dream. And it passes very shortly after. You are able to go about your lives as you did so in the past. However, about a month or so later, all of you receive a package in the mail. And in this package in the mail is unmarked. It is a DVD set. And this DVD set chronicles the exploits of 4 heroic individuals battling across dimensions as they teamed up to save their homes from a devastating evil. And for this brief moment, you get a feeling of deja vu as you read the back of it. And recognition kind of flashing in your mind's eye for just a brief moment. And then it's gone. And that is the end of my epic 2-part story of the cartoon universe.
Oh, and add this to the library.
I do apologize for going a little bit long, folks. We just had a little bit more story to tell, so thank you all for sticking with us this night. If you haven't joined our Discord, go ahead and do so. Leave any feedback you had on this game or any of the other projects that we have here at the Untold Stories Project. We will be live tomorrow night with some GM prep for one of our games coming up in the new year. Our GM Alex is running a Fallout game using the Wasteland Warfare rule set. He will be doing his GM prep tomorrow night, and he'll be looking for user feedback for the NPCs that he wants to create. So you, the viewer, if you tune in tomorrow night, might be able to help create some NPCs. As always, we'll have a new episode of Something Something Dragons on Friday this week. Next week, we return to our One Shot Mondays with our Star Wars Christmas special. And next Tuesday is our finale episode of East Texas University. So we've got a lot of good stuff coming up for you guys in the next week or so. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and we'll be seeing you. Thanks for joining.
That's all,
Bye.
folks.
Somebody had to say it.
Yeah.